Good morning, everyone. Brian Hoops here, Midwest Market Solutions. This is Market Insider TV. This is our opening commentary, and it's Tuesday. It's April the 8th. Good morning. Hope you are off to a great start. We have a lot of green on our screens, unlike the last several mornings. So good to see a green screen and that prices are starting to kind of ignore some of the tariff news, some of that rhetoric. I think we extremely overdone it in almost all these markets, crude oil and stock market, let alone the grains. But overnight, we're seeing a nice recovery. Corn up a couple cents, beans up 10 and three quarters, almost 8 in the November contract. Meal and oil share higher, and the wheat's 5 to 6 cents better. So all these grain markets in the green this morning. Gold up sharply, silver up, kind of a laggard, but it's still higher on the session, while the dollar is sharply lower. Higher these tariffs should weaken the dollar. We talked about this in our TV segment last night. When we have tariffs in place, the longer they go, the weaker the dollar should appear to be. We're seeing a little bounce in crude oil. It fell down to the 60-cent level last night, $60 a barrel, and that's, I think, acting as good support, and it bounced. And the stock market. We mentioned last night in our TV closing segment, we think the bottom is in, or I think the bottom is in the stock market. The technical action yesterday suggests that bottom is in. It was a massive, massive volume yesterday in that stock market, and we closed better than where we opened. Closed, I thought, technically positive. The key is if we can follow through and take out yesterday's highs, which we're getting closer all the time. We're higher at least, but we'll see if we can manage that today. But it does look like technical action suggests bottom in that stock market. So we've talked about the grains and some of these other outside markets. Let's get into some of our news here and features this morning as we see things. Again, a reminder, visit our website, MidwestMarketSolutions.com, where you can follow us on Twitter. Links are there to sign up for Twitter, our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos that we send out. And also, you can sign up for our daily newsletter that has trade recommendations, hedging ideas, as well as our look at our opening and closing TV segments and our midday commentaries as well. So check out the weather. Winter corn areas in Brazil did receive some decent weekend rains. Now the weather models are split. The 6-10 day forecasts are mixed, with the U.S. models showing below normal rainfall. If that happens, that should be supportive for the corn market and lead to additional U.S. export business, while the European weather model is a little bit wetter. And if that happens, of course, you're probably going to have a bigger crop out of South America that will undercut the U.S. once it gets to be harvested later this spring into the summer months. U.S. winter wheat plains areas, they are drier than desired, and that bodes watching. Really received some heavy rains over the weekend in the Delta and southern Indiana, Illinois. We saw Chicago gain against Kansas City yesterday, unwinding of the spreads because there was some flooding reported in a lot of these areas. So the plains of Nebraska, Kansas, northern Oklahoma, drier than desired, but there was good rains in a lot of other areas. April supply and demand report comes out this Thursday at 11 a.m. Estimates are in the newsletter this morning that was sent out. After leaving corn exports unchanged from last month, trade is expecting at least a 25 million bushel increase in exports and a decrease in ending stocks. Other markets look to be virtually unchanged. World production numbers of Argentina and Brazil virtually unchanged from a month ago. Yesterday, we saw the first weekly crop progress conditions report of the year. U.S. corn planting, 3% done nationwide. The average is 2. Oats are 33% planted, ahead of the average of 28. Spring wheat is 3% planted. That is right in line with the average. And the winter wheat crop, this first look at it, 48% good to excellent. That's down from last year. I think it's supporting a little bit of a rally in the wheat market. It was right in line with expectations, but overall, it's a little bit of a disappointment, especially with the forecast being a little drier. This week's cattle facts show list, it's down 2,600 head for a total of 228,700 head. Cash calls, however, are no better than steady to lower. Box beef was stronger on Monday afternoon. I think the cattle are going to open stronger this morning. Looking at that box beef trade and looking at the stock market being higher, I just don't see how we don't open the cattle market higher after closing on its lows yesterday. Again, cash calls probably stay to lower. The April futures, I think, maybe try and rally the rest of this week and catch up to where the cash trade is as we're heavily discount to that cash market. So no deliveries. We don't expect to see any deliveries against the April market as we go forward through the rest of this month as deliveries began last night. All right. Have a great day. Good luck. Good trading. As always, reach out to us. Be glad to talk some markets with you. This has been Brian Hoops. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you very soon.